How do you start your morning? Like any pig farmer, Robert Pickton liked to rise early and start his morning with a big old cup of Folgers coffee. After, he'd make his way down to the slaughterhouse located on his sprawling property in Port Coquitlam, British Columbia, and fire up his bandsaw. A pork hock here, hooker's arm there. The best part of waking up. Robert Willy Pickton was born October 24th, 1949 in Port Coquitlam, British Columbia.
It's Canada.
Young Willy was destined to take over the three-generation piggery. Yeah, that's what it's called. It's called a piggery. Although life on the secluded farm could be dull at times, little Willy and his brother always found creative ways to entertain themselves. Compared to most modern pig farms, life on the Pickton farm was primitive, to say the least.
The animals were always allowed to run in and out of the Pickton house.
Okay, I mean, the house is one thing, but I'm sure the family took their own hygiene seriously, at least.
Pickton children were famous for stinking of manure and unwashed clothing and unwashed bodies.
Well, I bet their mother didn't let them go to school smelling like that.
When they got on the school bus in the morning, children didn't want to sit near them, and they called them Stinky Piggy.
Can't sit here.
As a boy growing up, Willy loved animals. At age 11, he saved every penny he made, Canadian pennies, and bought a calf from a nearby auction. Boy, how he loved that calf. He would feed it, play with it, nurture it.
One day he came home and the calf was missing.
Whenever something goes missing, or someone finds something, or a woman is spotted screaming, running naked down a road, it's never a good thing. Well, maybe that's not the case this time. I mean, maybe it's just down the road at the next farm. Or maybe it's just chilling inside the house, watching TV with the pigs.
He went down to the barn and found that the calf had been slaughtered.
His parents just butchered their son's pet. Fuck's sakes. I mean, just one time. Can't it just be something good once? Just once.
Did you hear something?
No, I didn't hear anything.
At age 14, Willy dropped out of school and found work as a butcher's apprentice. No. He wasn't butchering hookers. Yet. Guys, come on. You need to start somewhere, right? Like, you don't just pick up a guitar and start noodling. Now, I'm assuming you're into true crime because you're here and you're watching this, and I'm assuming you're into serial killers in general. And I'm sure that if you are, you've noticed a repeated message from documentary to documentary out there.
Just doesn't look like the type to kill somebody.
He didn't look like anybody's notion of somebody who would tear apart young girls.
He seemed very personable, very friendly.
I just wanted to see what he looked like. I think he's cute.
He looks entirely normal, clean cut, very nicely dressed.
Yeah, that wasn't the case with Willy Pickton. I mean, if I wasn't aware of his crimes and I ran into him on the street, well, first I'd say, like, dude, you were fucking awesome in Wrong Turn. But then I'd be like, yeah, that guy's a serial killer. Yeah. 100%. Look at him. Look at him. You don't go around looking like that. I mean, either that or he's cosplaying as a mutant from The Hills Have Eyes, or they didn't get the makeup off after that one episode of X-Files or something. I mean, right now, like, I could have gone, you know, how do you start your morning? And you wouldn't have noticed the difference. Look, bang, bang. Which one? Who? This, that. This, that. Same guy. Now you're thinking to yourself, oh, wait, which box did Josh even use in the intro? Did he use that box? Should I go back and look? Yeah, go ahead. Go have a look. Anyways, we're getting a little bit off track here. The point is, Willy Pickton was an ugly fucking dude, okay? It was like he was trying his absolute hardest to pull off the stereotypical serial killer look.
You're one ugly motherfucker.
By the time he started killing, he had the whole package. Let's see, what do we got? This doesn't feel bingo-like, right? I mean, come on. We need some, yeah, let's go. Coffee, beauty, thank you. Donut, there we go. This, I guess. I mean, I guess I should probably have some Newport menthols going here, but I quit smoking like 2 years ago, and honestly, I'm not pulling them out even for a gag like this. I do have a bingo dabber. Let's see, what do we got? Oh, slaughterhouse. Creepy old slaughterhouse. Gotta have that, right? Gotta have the slaughterhouse. Beat up trailer. Kind of Breaking Badish, but yeah. Neck, beard, and mullet. Standard. Bum standard. And of course, let's not forget, there it is. The beat up, dingy old pickup truck. Gotta have that, of course. Oh, whew. With the free space, hey, that's a bingo.
Everyone hold your cards until we verify the bingo.
Let's see what I win. All you can eat hooker ribs at Piggy Palace Good Time. What is it? The fuck is that?
Unfortunately, we can only show you the outside of Porky's, because what goes on inside is not to be believed.
Yeah, it turns out that the smelly 14-year-old dropout from the sticks became a fucking millionaire. Willy and his brother sold the north end of the family farm for over 2.2 million Canadian dollars. So, what's the first thing they did? They opened a fucking kick-ass country western bar, that's what. Yeah, Willy would head down to the East Vancouver Strip, pick up some crack, some ladies, bring them on down to Piggy's Palace for a pig roast. No, I am not making that up. There was always a pig on a spit, just rotating over a fire.
Bunch of men who probably took turns to fuck the pig before they roasted it.
Here's how a longshoreman who wishes to remain anonymous described the vibe at Piggy's Palace.
It was wild. People were doing drugs and eating roasted pig. I was about to eat the pig, but when I saw Robert Pickton tearing it apart with his hands, I decided not to. His hands were dirty.
Yeah, I bet they were. But, good move, longshoreman, because the pigs that he was butchering, roasting, and serving to partygoers, they came from his farm. And the pig on old Willy's farm, well, let's just say they had a high-protein diet. Hookers. The pigs were eating hookers.
So be wary of any man who keeps a pig farm.
After a night of drugs, dancing, and all the hooker-laced pork meat you could eat, Willy would often bring a girl back to his trailer for a couple days with a promise of drugs and butchery skills?
And he would teach them butchering skills.
I guess the women out in BC have some different interests than... Some women would leave the farm, but many never made it off the property.
One of Willy's friends was a crack addict. For several months, she lived on his farm.
Yeah, so one night, she awakens to a loud sound. She looks outside and notices that the lights are on in Willy's slaughterhouse. Huh. I wonder what that creepy serial killer looking guy is up to in his personal slaughterhouse at 3 a.m. Arts and crafts, maybe? Working out? Not quite.
Dangling in front of her were a woman's purple painted toenails. Terrified, Lynn fled the farm.
Okay, so that's the end, right? She obviously ran straight to the nearest police station and told them what she saw.
Ellingson never went to the police, and Willy continued to butcher.
Nope. Guess not. She ran straight to the nearest bar, probably Piggy's Palace.
What do you say you and me get nipple to nipple?
All that excitement made her thirsty.
I need a fucking beer.
By January 2001, the number of missing women had reached 62.
With the missing person count climbing, the police set up a task force and offered a $100,000 Canadian dollar reward for any information leading to an arrest. So right away, the police received like a dozen leads about this creepy serial killer looking guy who's constantly cruising around the downtown east side, trolling for prostitutes in a beat-up pickup truck with a dead pig or two in the back.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Coincidentally, while executing a search warrant on his property for illegal firearms, the police discovered items from some of the missing women. With evidence in hand, he was brought in for questioning. In jail, Willy knew that he had to smarten up if he was going to beat the charges building against him. But the police, knowing he wasn't the sharpest knife in the drawer, placed him in a cell with an undercover officer posing as a prisoner.
My name is Jeff.
But old Willy, he wasn't as dumb as they thought.
Willy knew he was under surveillance, but that didn't stop him from bragging to his cellmate.
Sorry. He was actually way dumber than they thought. So, case closed. that was the end of the line for Willy Pickton.
The jury found Picton not guilty.
Somehow, the jury couldn't come to a consensus on the first-degree murder charges.
The kid is guilty. Why don't you listen to the facts?
However, he was found guilty of 6 counts of second-degree murder, and on December 11, 2007, he was sentenced to life without the possibility of parole for 25 years. Canadian years. The maximum punishment for second-degree murder. So what do you think? Should Willy Pickton receive royalties every time Wrong Turn airs on cable television? Let me know in the comments below. And if you've been enjoying the content, make sure you murder that subscribe button and click that notification bell, because we've got new content dropping all of the time. And if you just can't get enough, you could even follow us over on Instagram and TikTok for even more killer content.